Today, I'm going to answer one of the most commonly asked questions that I get as an estate planning attorney. What, if anything, do I need to update in my estate plan now that I'm retired or I'm going to retire soon? I'm West Michigan estate planning attorney Sean Eyestone, and this is one of my favorite questions to get. I really enjoy looking back at all of the accomplishments my clients have had leading them up to retirement, and then it's even more fun hearing their dreams, what they're planning to do with their retirement, and how they're going to spend their time and spend their assets. And this change in how they're spending their time and their assets is really the reason that there needs to be some updates to their estate plan. Your estate plan really needs 4 updates once you retire, and we're going to talk about those briefly today. The first update to your estate plan that you need to consider making when you're retired or when you start thinking about retiring is the ownership and beneficiary designations on your assets. To do this, you're going to have to take an inventory of what you have, collect up all of your statements and make a list of what your assets are, and then go to each one of those institutions and get written confirmation of who the beneficiaries are, if there's beneficiaries named, both the primary and the contingent, and then also who owns the asset. Then take a look at who you want to get those assets. If they're not the same people, or if you have a trust and the trust isn't named, then you'll have to work on getting new beneficiary designation forms or change of ownership forms. The second update to your estate plan that you should consider making when you're entering into retirement is the beneficiaries that you've selected to receive your assets after you've passed away. Many people set up their estate plans when their children are young, and they take a guess at how they think their children are going to be as far as adults. Typically, by the time you're retired, you've got a pretty good idea what kind of path your kid is on. So if your kid's doing well, they've got a good job, they're managing their finances well, and you had some restrictions on how they could use their funds, you might loosen them up a little bit. You might even give them more assets than you were going to give them before earlier on in life. However, if you've got a kid who's not quite grown up or a kid who makes your blood boil when you think of what they're going to do with your money, then it's very important to come in and make sure that those beneficiaries have some extra restrictions on how the assets are used, and even consider having an independent or professional trustee appointed for them to protect those assets to make sure that your estate plan works for them. The third update that you need to make to your estate plan goes along with the second. And these are the fiduciaries that you've named, whether it be a trustee, an agent under a power of attorney, or your healthcare patient advocate. These are the decision makers. So if you're not able to make a decision because of an incapacity or after you pass away, you appoint people to make healthcare decisions for you when you can't, and then also to make financial decisions when you can't, and then to make sure your wishes are carried out after you pass away. Again, many times people set up these plans when their children are young, and they may have people named as trustees or personal representatives or other agents who either can't do it anymore because they've moved away, they're estranged from the family, maybe they've passed away, or maybe it just doesn't make any sense anymore now that your children are 45 or 50 to have their 85-year-old aunt or uncle make decisions for them. So make sure you pull out your yellowed old documents, take a look at them, and see who you have appointed to make those decisions for you if you're not able to make them, and you're probably going to find out that you need to update them. And the fourth thing that you need to update with your estate plan when you're retired or thinking of retiring is really more of a mindset. In the days past, people would not want to share anything about their estate plan. They wanted it to be a secret. You know, you could think of the old TV shows where people are having the reading of the will. That's really not the best way to do things. We suggest that one of the updates you make is updating your family about what's in the estate plan, what your expectations are, who's going to be making decisions, who's going to be receiving assets when you're gone, when they're supposed to receive them, what the timing is. That allows the people who are going to be making the decisions for you to carry out your wishes. And it also helps the people that are your beneficiaries or who care about you and your healthcare to hold those people accountable to what you've told them. So updating your perceptions and those of your family is super important. If you're retired or nearing retirement, and any of these issues has resonated with you, or if you're just curious what your estate plan says that it's supposed to do, and you want to find out whether what your wishes are now are the same as what they were when you wrote it, give us a call and schedule a free strategy session with one of our estate planning attorneys, and we can go over your current plan, what your wishes are, and then help you make the updates necessary to make sure your estate plan works for you and then those that you leave behind.